Now, when you see insiders, of course, selling their company, or when you see executive uh, members of the company selling their shares, it's always not taken as a very, very good move, because obviously they know more than us, the public or the retail investors. They know more than us in how the company is performing, where it's headed, and some of the initiatives. They are upside and downsides. They are up and downs, and it is for that reason that when you see insiders selling their shares, it's usually not taken as a very good sign. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this is that someone sent me a picture of course, the Naspers South Africa CEO, Ms. Phuthi Mahanyele-Dabengwa, who sold, I think, apparently, shares of Naspers worth 240 million, which is something that is not good. I mean, the shares options were part of incentives package granted between 2020 to 2023. The sale made on the 30th of July was reportedly to settle taxes and related costs. But still, this is not a good sign, right? But look, Naspers, one thing that you must know, is a company that, of course, it's massive, and I mean, they've got investments all over the world. I mean, some of their popular, of course, investments includes Take a Lot. When you talk about international tech giants, they've got stake in Tencent and more. So this is a company that really knows what they are doing, and it's one of the companies in the JSE with a massive market cap, right? So they say the sale of these shares were to settle taxes and related costs. Despite cashing out, she retained 9,999 shares worth 55 million. Her total pay last year was 44 million, and she's now on the Naspers board with a process board seat pending. Look, she's a businesswoman, and of course she's a top executive of a top company, and of course they are saying she did this in order to settle the taxes and all that. I don't know if it's really it's really understandable, but of course to investors this can be also be misinterpreted otherwise, to say that why is she selling, because like I said, when you see an insider or an executive of a company selling, of course, a huge stake into a company, it's usually not a good sign. If I own my company and I've got other investors who are investing in my company, and then I decided to trim my shares to sort out my probably tax and all that, that investors won't have confidence on me, right? Chances are very high that they will also start trimming their shares, because what will come in their mind is that probably I'm hiding something from them, which I'm not saying is the same with Miss Mahanyele and Naspers, but obviously it's just, I suppose, business, right? And yeah, let's see. But this has caused a stir, because not only I mean, I at first I read about it, and then I think two guys sent me this from different sources, which means that there are some people that are concerned. I mean, one of the guy owns Naspers, the shares of Naspers, and was talking about if their shares are safe. I'm like, Naspers is a good company unless otherwise, but obviously Naspers remains to be a good company. Something very important that you need to note, however, there is that from this sale she retained, of course, 999 shares worth 55 million. So she still owns shares into Naspers. That is the good thing, but her trimming, it's what is triggering some of the investors to ask themselves exactly what's happening onto Naspers. But look, man, I think Naspers is a company which is still expected to do very well. Generally, comment. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you guys. I've not really looked at, of course, their performance and whatnot, but I know that Naspers remains, or forever remains, that company that does very well, because their investment on various companies is really booming, and it's making them to obviously do so well. Take a Lot still does well, or still doing well to this day here in South Africa, regardless of Amazon still in South Africa or penetrating the South African market. Some people said Takealot, it was the end of Takealot, but we are still seeing Takealot still doing very well, which is great, and it shows us that, look, the resilience of these companies or businesses continues, or will be the one that continues propelling Naspers shares to surge, right? I mean, as I'm doing this video, Naspers shares in the last year or 52 weeks ago, they have said Naspers shares, when looking at where they were last year in August this time versus where they are now, they've went up by over 55%. They were around 360. They were selling at around 3,000 per share, but right now they are over. I mean, they were at just over 3,000 shares. I mean, they were at 3,000 shares, and now they are at 5,596 shares, which is always good to see, even the share price recovering like this. I mean, maybe it's the best time or the good time for, it was the good time for her to trim some of her things, because and pay off some of the taxes, because look, man, yeah, the shares have been doing so well, which is always good to see this, which is, I suppose, it's not a train smash, but anyways, let's wait, let's see what transpires. And yeah, I don't think there's a big fuss, because look, otherwise it could have been reflecting also on the share price, to see that at least the share price is still almost at an all-time high. It shows you the kind of performance that Naspers is putting for all to see. So nothing to panic, these things do happen. Maybe let's agree that she was doing this, but of course, to some of the investors, they look, like I said, they lose the confidence, they lose hope, and they also probably will do the same. But we don't know what will happen in the near future. But Naspers remains a very good, solid company. So yeah, man, like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Take me some time to make videos like this, and all I ask from you is to give it a thumbs up, so that at least you can be notified by YouTube every time I drop a new content. I will see you on the next one. That is all from me, and God bless you all.